I need to turn my volume down.
All right, we're going to start the meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mari Perot, Randy Hayden, Jenny Requay, Janet Lloyd, and Maggie's excused.
Yes, I don't.
Or online.
I don't see her online.
Okay.
She doesn't think she would make it.
All right, Ms. Frank.
All right. So last night, Mackenzie received a phone call from Snohomish County, and they informed us that our measure would be the only one on the ballot. Therefore, the full cost of running the ballot to the election would fall to the district, which is approximately $66,000. So at that time, she called me. We immediately emailed the board and informed them and asked for an emergency meeting to discuss how we want to move forward because of the cost is so high to run it when nothing else is on the ballot. Also, Skagit County at this time does not have anything on the ballot. Now, it could change overnight, but they don't foresee anything coming in. Skagit Valley also doesn't have anything on the ballot.
Skagit
County. I said valleys. That's not right. Skagit Valley. I need to get some. So Skagit County does not have anything on the ballot as well. So we would have to pay the cost for Skagit County as well. Well, we need to send it to our Skagit County constituent. So therefore, the cost will be more than $66,000 to run the levy. Mackenzie looked back in our records at no time in like 25 years, was it? Has it been more than like $30,000?
Yeah. When the county called me, they said that they were calling because it's really unusual for this to happen. So I went and looked back. I went back 25 years and did not find any other instance of there being only one measure on the April ballot. Well, the one time it happened was in April of 2020, where everyone who was planning to run pulled their measures because of COVID. But there were people who were districts that were planning to run at that time. So this is really unprecedented to be in this situation.
So the board needs to come together and discuss whether we want to move forward and spend $66,000 plus on running this levy, or rescind our decision from Tuesday and wait until August. Now you could, I just want to throw this out there, decide that, okay, well, if another measure comes in and it only costs no more than X amount, then let's run it in April. So you could go with option B and see, we kind of came up with a couple ideas.
So in your packets, option A would be to just repeal the resolution that you approved at the last board meeting to put the levy on the April ballot. Option B would be to say, we'll still run it if there are X number of other measures on the ballot, or X number of measures with a certain number of voters, because we're billed based on our number of registered voters. So whenever there's anything else on the ballot, our cost ends up being small because we're always so small compared to everyone else. It's only if we're the only one on the ballot that we have this high cost. So you could say, if someone comes in with another one, we would still run it. Or if the cost would be less than X, we would still run it. At this time, with both Snohomish and Skagit counties saying that they don't have anyone, I don't think that that's going to be something that's going to happen. But those are options that you can discuss.
So I looked through the auditors on all the levies that were ran. And so only one failed. And that was one of the two ran in Monroe. So the chances of us, getting a bunch of other districts to run a levy are slim to none.
Yeah.
So.
And the one in Monroe was a
Because-
bond.
Because, was it?
The one that failed was a bond. So they definitely wouldn't turn around and run that again.
So I guess what I'm getting at is if we ran it in August, we're still running that same bond.
No, there's other things on the,
Yeah, they guarantee that we won't have the situation in August because of the primaries.
That's right.
So there's no chance to have the same
So-
situation in August.
That makes sense.
So I guess just to kind of talk about what this means, if the board does decide to repeal the resolution and run the levy in August. So we've talked a lot about if the levy failed, that we would be cutting $950,000 because that's the amount of the levy. But we have to keep in mind that that is for a calendar year. The levies are based on calendar years, not our school years. So if we had a double levy failure, yes, we would cut 950,000, but it would be over 2 school years because you have half in one year, half in the next. If we run the levy in August, that means that we have to make a budget that does not include that revenue that we could get in spring of 2027, which is about $500,000. So we would have to make a budget that cuts that much for the levy, with the idea that if it passes in August, then we would reverse those cuts. If it then failed in August, we would keep the cuts. And the following year, 27, 28, we would make the additional $450,000 worth of cuts. So it's just split up over 2 years. I know there's been some confusion about that. One thing that I want to make really clear too, because I know there's going to be a lot of conversation about this, that $500,000 of cuts that is contingent on the levy passing, that's just for the levy situation. We have our normal budget process where every year we're projecting enrollment and looking at increasing costs and have to make cuts based on that. I just got an email from Washington Schools Risk Management Pool that we're part of for our insurance. They're projecting, again, an 18% increase. That is $30,000 for us that our costs are going to increase next year. So that's something that isn't in this contingent $500,000 piece. That's over here with like the regular cuts that we have to make to be able to balance the budget. That's $30,000. We already have a contract with DEA for next year that we bargained last spring that gives them 1% above IPD. That's $30,000. So now that's $60,000 separate from the levy conversation that we still have to cut. I imagine that the uncertainty that this will create, which is what we were trying to avoid by running it in April, there is a good chance that we will lose enrollment with people who are saying, we don't know if you're going to have sports, so I'm pulling my kids now. Or we don't know if you're going to have the staffing that we think is adequate. I'm pulling my kids now. We get $12,500 per student. So if we lose 20 students, which I could easily see happening, that would be $250,000. So again, those are cuts that aren't related to the levy passing. Those are things that we just have to try to predict as part of our regular budget that is due in July. So everyone knows that's due before the August 4th levy could even be run. So we have to present a balanced budget. So those are two pieces
right.
that we need to be aware of.
with that being said, I think spending $66,000 to run this levy is not fiscally sound.
I agree.
And so I believe my recommendation is that we wait until August, everyone knowing that we are going to have to balance a budget without possible money that's hopefully will be coming in when the levy passes. But we have to know that we have to budget based on what we know we have. We can't hope for the budget. We have to plan accordingly, and then we can do a revision of our budget when the levy passes.
Mhm.
But I don't see that it's fiscally sound to. So my recommendation is to go ahead and repeal the decision from Tuesday night, not start playing cards with tonight and not, because it doesn't look, I mean, there's not going to be another measure on the ballot. It's just, I would hope, maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt it. So that's my recommendation, and that we, really regroup to, as a community for August.
I tend to agree. I don't gamble.
I gotta take a break. I'll be back.
Take a short recess. We're going to take a 5-minute recess.
Here, I'll see if anybody else needs.
I'll think about it. I'll ask him.
They upgraded like $10 million down there, so automated fast, a lot of them, and 33 jobs. It's been a long, it's almost long as I've ever seen that long. Must be good. Yeah. I'll look more and more.
I know.
They don't even let 45,000 to the community center. Yeah.
You are amazing.
Thank you.
You really are.
Thank you.
Sorry.
All right, well, we need a motion to repeal what we did Tuesday, please.
Well, the question is, do we do A or B? And I'm of the feeling that you do B. Ms. Randy, was that what you were indicating as well?
What's that?
That was B because it
B would open the door if
Right.
there's
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I would be good with B. I mean, I highly doubt, like Tracy said, that we're going to get another district.
No,
But I would, yeah, let's go B because that does keep the door open, keep our fingers crossed.
Mary, did you have any other discuss, I mean, I don't know what there is to discuss. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So
She thought we would be here.
the other piece with B is that Skagit County also doesn't have any measures. I don't think that's, I mean,
But it's not going to hurt to go with.
well, you'd,
It's because what B does, correct me if I'm wrong, that keeps the door open. And one of the, if some other districts decide to put that on the ballot.
So what
yes.
is the cost that you want to go up to?
Well, if that would put into play the charging us by our number of students.
No, it puts into play how many,
People are gonna vote on
how many voters we have.
Right,
Voters.
sorry.
Uh,
voters, enrolled students, but
If anyone else was to jump on it, chances are they would take a bigger share than us though, because we got one of the smaller.
Right, but in this resolution, we have to determine how much we're willing to spend. So that's what I'm asking, what dollar amount are you willing to go up to run it?
better finish reading and I have a question. What can we absorb? Nothing.
Well, I mean, yeah,
You're looking at.
what I anticipated, the cost would be, 2,500, maybe 3,000 if there weren't a lot of other measures on the ballot.
I don't see it getting to that. Because when we had all these measures on the ballot we only saw our districts, right? We didn't see everybody's, we
Yeah,
didn't
and
see
there were a
everybody
lot
who
in
ran, and there were
Snohomish
like, I don't remember
There
how
were
many
a lot.
school districts ran their levies and bonds.
And
And-
our cost was about 1,500.
So it's going to
So-
take a lot of measures on the ballot to get it even down to $10,000. That's why I'm saying that. That's why I recommend that we just repeal it because it's clean, it's cut and dry, and the odds are not out there that there's going to be all these measures on the ballot to cut that cost all the way down to even $10,000.
Because it's the combination of Snohomish and Skagit County,
Right.
even though in Skagit County, we only have about 100.
But we still have to pay for the whole shebang.
Yeah. Right.
That's real professional shit.
So just.
That would be my recommendation.
Takes it
I'm,
back, doesn't
I mean,
replace it with anything.
the
Right?
counties, they know if there's going to be anything. And as of this afternoon,
No, I'm-
yeah, both
There
counties
isn't.
have nothing.
Yeah, we've got till.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And they reached out to anyone who they think would even be a possibility. And they're telling us there's no one.
Okay, we need a motion for A.
I second. I make that motion, I'm sorry, Jenny.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I,
Okay.
We'll have paperwork in Lisa's. Oh, no. we
I
won't.
have a resolution for
Okay.
you to sign.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned.
I made the right decision.
choice.
I think all of you should look at this as a silver